Yeah. Okay. Great. Yeah. Yeah. Nice to see you here, Takara. Yeah. Happy fifth anniversary for Undead Unluck. Hasn't been 5 years for me, but every year I have been here since catching up at around the end of a spring arc has been great. So, before we get into today's chapter, today's sketch is very interesting, and I did. Oh, nice to see you here, Sandstreak. Um, I did open up the first page of the chapter to, get it ready for the stream. So that's given me some context for what this sketch is about. But Luna has something to say to everyone, seemingly. And Fuko is a little concerned, and he's just saying, yeah, it's fine, leave it to me. Now, on to the contents of today's chapter. I see it is 01, or 1 if you want to read it like a normal person, but clearly some kind of reference to the first opening for the anime, which is great to see. Okay, looks like Andy's the one talking. According to Luna, and the final reward. Oh, according to Luna, and the final reward for clearing the game. From this point on, you are all gods. Design this world to your liking. Also, I would like. Ooh, sorry, stuff going on outside. I was about to ask if anyone could hear any of it, but yeah, looks like it's sorting itself out. I had my cat meowing outside the room asking for food, and then my mum shouting at the cat. I don't think any of it got on the mic, but oh well. Yeah, very interesting what Luna's saying here. From this point on, you are all gods. Design this world to your liking. So this is really interesting and gives some context to why her and son were banished. Seemingly, if there are other gods, then they may be, I don't know. In my final moments, that is what I wish to see. That's what she said. But it's pretty much fine as is, ain't it? Yeah, so what, the 100 master rules that are lined up on the tablet here. I'd love if we could find out what all of these are, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. True, there's still some dangerous stuff lingering around, like war, but I imagine things would go south without rules that deal with fighting and strife. Yeah, same with sickness. It's why us doctors exist. I can't do a French accent on demand. But I killed Autumn. Autumn wasn't the master rule, right? Oh, crud, you screwed up. Excuse me? Oh, Haruka's crying over Spring. No. Yeah, of course, Spring joined. Well, yeah, I guess every non-master rule is dead right now. So even though we didn't kill. Well, we killed Spring when we killed Sun. And how about we add one called Season? We have one last slot open. No, if we do that, then all countries will have the same weather. It could throw a lot of things out of whack. What if revolution wasn't a course plunging the planet into the sun? Not like this. Not like this. Like this. If we rotate around the sun at the right distance, some countries might see the 4 seasons come to fruition in a similar fashion to how they did before. Gotcha. Consider that rule added. You decided that way too fast. Luna probably wanted to see a little more hesitation, don't you think? Like it even matters. We're finally free of our negation abilities. Yeah, Fuko is very confused by everything that is going on here. One thing we've always wanted was to be free in this world, right? Yes, which means now is the perfect time. As of today, the Union is disbanded. Aww. Thank you all for taking on this fight together. From here on out, let's all enjoy our lives to the fullest. Any scrumptious details going on here? Any time the science team is shown is a good time. Tatiana and Bax embracing. Is Nico carrying something, or is he just behind people? Either way, Engine just about sneaking into the corner of that panel. And they're all looking at Foucault. Oh, yeah, her memories, right? If only we could fix her with science or medicine. It's God's handiwork. I doubt we'd be of any use. And any helpful artifacts are long gone now. Yeah. He's floating? I want to do something to help her, but... Sheesh, you guys sure are downers. I've got just the plan in store, so go ahead and leave her to me. You can all rest easy. Do whatever it is you've always wanted to do. Right, got it. Alright, time to start my budding acting career. Oh, what should I do? Well, I've always wanted to be a painter. I'm going to be a photographer. Okay, then you can take my headshots. Oh, what's Chikara's hair doing right now? Has he got a little ponytail? Oh, did he have a... I can't remember if he had a ponytail last time we saw him. But he seems to have one now, and he still hasn't put on any trousers. It's a small world out there. Catch you guys on the flip side of wherever your dreams may take you. Oh. Oh, of course. Nico's still carrying Ichiko because she's asleep. Yusai is beating Feng's head for some reason, making him bow. I guess making him bow. Oh. Haruka's crying. Mui's waving. Oh, sure. You know, Tozuka has got me looking in the background before I look in the foreground, I swear. It took me this long to realize Sean is crying his eyes out. Oh. Now then. I guess we should get going too. Huh? Going where? Actually, where are we? Ain't it obvious? To where you and I kicked things off. Oh? Is that Soul? Is that Soul? Aha, there you are. Hey, Soul. Okay, I certainly wasn't expecting this. I was expecting to see him back somehow. Like, whether that's in the, what was the word used? The space that exists beyond everything. I was expecting him to see in some way. It is a stupid-ass hat, but I kind of like it. I think it gives him something other than just being a dude. So you can still see me. Was that? You can't see him? Who? Wait, that's dangerous. Whatever. Anyway, why are you here? Why? Because if I were in your shoes, I'd be here too. We're both giving it our all, so it only makes sense you'd want to know, right? Why you lost and where it all went wrong. Andy just pulls up the thread I made of every time somebody screwed Soul over. Well, it went wrong here when you were created. Then it went wrong here when all of your siblings were created. Then it went wrong here when Luna decided everybody would be able to use souls just as well as you can. And then the series happened. And everything went downhill for you even more. Unlike Sun, it didn't feel like we cut you. Luna kept you alive, right? Wait, aren't you cold? Why are you shirtless? Beats me. What do you want? You waste no time, I see. But quit pulling my leg. You know what I'm here for. Give her back her memories. You can do that, can't you? What makes you believe that? 'Cause memories are ingrained in the soul. Be careful. The Remember artifact proved that to be true. Even so, I'm under no obligation to return her memories. Oh, yes, you are. I'm pretty sure that's why you survived. To take a critical look at the world we're about to create, and see how it differs from Luna and Sons. Soul. I had a feeling it was Luna. Rather than be assimilated, you are to remain here. Why? I should be with the others. I want you to teach them. They'll be working according to the laws they selected. And we see... I can tell one of these pictures is supposed to be... It's a dog, it's an animal, it's supposed to represent beast. One's a man who's sick. Not sure what's going on with the other people. But these people really don't feel like the usual Undead Unluck art style, I'll be honest. And I wonder if it's supposed to make it feel like a new world. Because they do not look normal. I don't know. People who've read Fire Force maybe might know what I'm thinking right now. But just the idea that people from... signifying the difference between the old world and the new world by a radical change in art style is something that has left an impression on me. Soul seems to fade away. Oh, gets to keep his cool hat, though. It's a dumb hat, but it's a cool hat. They were right where I told you, weren't they? Okay. Anybody who thought this guy wasn't coming back was... I mean, there were some levels of disappointment in this final arc, but that was never going to happen. Ruin was 100% coming back. It's just a question of how vital his role is. And let's see where that takes us. Well, how were they? Pretty different from me, right? Yeah, how come? It's simple. Unsettling, but all they negated were God and the abilities that used the rules to torment people, not the rules themselves. I wanted to negate the world where people who tried to negate me live. I'm juggling 3 different accents for Ruin here. I'm not good. Why did I make myself do this? I don't have to do this. I wanted to negate the world where people who tried to negate me lived. I sided with the gods who had the power to change that world for me. That's the difference, I guess. I'm surprised you managed to make it back. You were in space, weren't you? Don't you remember? I collided with you. You what? You remember, during Unluck's meteor shower. Oh, you mean... Even I was affected by Remember, though I don't recall ever joining their side. They totally got us, huh? Yeah. What are you gonna do now? The world's not going to change, so I'll have to. I'll seek out guys who are as fed up with the world as I am, and tell them to knock it off. It's pointless after all. I see. I'll help you out. I'll make sure no one complains. This world has been validated by them. I said it's dangerous, you know. You know, you're not undead anymore. Welcome back. Yeah, it's good to be back. Oh. Call back to him coming back to Earth. I love that. That scene called back to the meeting, and now we're calling back to that scene. That is great. Okay, let's see what chat has to say before I go into what I think. Nice to see you here, Raf's Revenge. I love being right about Fuku's memories, says Takara. Rather than be assimilated, I'm going to make you live without all your friends because I'm a petty shit. Yeah, but... It is an interesting fate that Luna decided to solve. Ruin's come back on his anniversary. Yeah, I forgot. It's his anniversary too. Let us prepare for all the Soul X Ruin Yowie coming. I think I'm low. What, like volume? I am I am being a little quiet because of things going on around me. I'll put the mic, I'll hold the mic close to my face. But yeah, really interesting chapter. So I guess I'll work backwards. Fuko getting her memories back like this. I mean, it's believable, but I was hoping there would be a bit more weight to her losing her memories. Like, what was the weight? Her being off screen for most of the chapter. Well, her being in the background for most of the chapter. That's only for the only real cost. So I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I'm a big fan of her getting her memories back like this. I'll have to see where next chapter takes us to figure out if what I truly feel about that. Because if next chapter's really good and it couldn't have happened without her getting her memories back, then fair enough. But for now, I'm not big on that idea. If this is all... I mean, it's an interesting ending for Ruin. Yeah. It's interesting. If this is all we get, then I think I am a little disappointed. Like, I like it, but I wish there was more. Which I guess sums up a lot of things to do with this final arc. Yeah. All they negated were God and the abilities that used the rules to torment people, not the rules themselves. I wanted to negate the world where people who tried to negate me lived. I sided with the gods who had the power to change that world for me. That's the difference, I guess. Yeah. And I guess he learnt this by being hit by rocks for 4 months. Okay, I'll stop and have a look at what people are saying, because I've noticed a few messages. Takara. People still sad about Lucy as if her mother didn't ground her as soon as Remember made her start screaming about a man tearing his skeleton out. Yeah, I wonder if her mum remembers anything she saw while she was like a blood thrall. Yeah, I get that. Just, I'm sure we're gonna. I don't think Lucy's gonna have like a major comeback. The series might be ending next week. It's been announced that it will be having another super climax, whatever that means at this point. So next week might be the final chapter. We don't know yet. I am expecting Lucy to make some kind of appearance, but I'm not expecting a major... She was never really a major part of the series. Sure, she had a moment, but that's... I don't know. I'm expecting to see her, not expecting her to really do anything. Yeah, but still sad that Lucy... Okay, yeah, I read that out. Raf says, I get that. Yeah, just thinking now, I wonder if we'll ever learn why Vic got the dead end tattoo. Huh. Yeah, that was the only tattoo... Did Vic have it? I can't remember. Was that the only tattoo that, Vic had before Andy? Raf's Revenge. I'm at least glad she got it back due to Soul. Yeah, I like the means. I don't know if I like the result. I'm at least glad she got it back due to Soul. Really glad he got more in the end here, and Ruin had a subversive ending here for what I was expecting. I feel similar on Ruin. Yeah. Takara, it's just like every other cost. It was a deterrent to try and stop everyone doing what needed to be done, but Luna never intended to leave them suffering if they won. Luna is a DM, they have to seem adversarial, but they're just pushing the story along and giving the players stakes. Yeah, I agree with that. I just question... It's something that does sometimes disappoint me about Undead Unluck, that, anything negative has a reason to not happen. And it makes me wonder, would I enjoy the story more if that wasn't a thing that happened. But yeah, it makes sense. It fits into the world. And yeah. Oh, on the panel we saw of Naked Vic with the early world he had the tattoo. Okay. Never got the 1865 clarified, but I think most of us assume Andy got it since that's when he was born. I want to say there is like one tiny panel of him getting his tattoos, maybe in the Andy chapter in Ragnarok, but I'm not sure if I'm remembering that correctly. Yeah, okay, but back to working backwards through the chapter. So what Ruin says, all they negated were God and the abilities that used the rules to torment people, not the rules themselves. Which I think is a really, really good point. You know, Gina doesn't hate change. She loves change. She just doesn't like how God was applying change. Of course, that doesn't apply to every rule. I mean, Billy does have some kind of acceptance of war in this chapter, but he still... Well, I guess, yeah, he does accept it, and they have the opportunity to remove it, and they decide not to, which is interesting, but it fits with what Ruin's saying here. It's God's interpretation of the rules that they negated. You know, sometimes I've been tempted, and then I just haven't done it because I don't think anyone would be that interested, is making a list of like negators that seem to love their rules and negators that seem to hate their rules. Because you've got, on love, you've got Dewey's, Andy striving for death, Teller, Engine. But then you've got negators who hate their rules. Stuff like Thang and Void and Gina, like Loop 100 Gina. And I think it's a really interesting thing to look at when you're trying to analyze these characters. But I guess what we've kind of settled on is that everybody either loves or has come to accept their rules. They just hate how God applied them, which is what's going into what Ruin is saying here. Which I think it's really interesting. And if we somehow get a sequel series following Ruin, I think that could be really interesting, but not very likely. Soul's ending, I think, is interesting. I'll help out, make sure no... Like, I would love to see this sequel series, Soul and Ruin. Never addressing why exactly Ruin is named Ruin slightly bugs me. Because, like, surely there is a Yuma Ruin. So why is Ruin called Ruin? What happened to Yuma Ruin, the one he negates? You know, I had an old theory that he was the 101st Master Rule and that he would be added when all is said and done, when the world finally is ruined and is going to be destroyed with no coming back. Interesting. I do like... I mean, any callback to Chapter 1. I love that. Okay. I love this page of Catch You on the Flip Side of Wherever Your Dreams Take You. I love that so much. It really feels like this could be the panel I think of when I think of the ending of Undead Unluck. Deciding on seasons for the final edition. I think there maybe could have been something a bit more interesting done. Was it seasons or rotation? Can't remember. Oh yeah, it was Revolution. Yeah. I think I got my hopes up when this happened, but it might be something really interesting. But no, it's just, yeah, let's make the world normal. Julia disbanding the Union is, yeah. I think the decision to name this chapter 01 is such a cool decision. Like, Tozuka clearly loved everything the anime did. I mean, maybe there's some small stuff he never brought up that he didn't like, but he had he was doing sketches for people who weren't following the manga while the anime was airing. Tozuka was putting out sketches every week for the anime and for the manga. Like, he loved that so much, and I'm glad to see how much it's affected the manga. Like, in the chapter where Andy comes back, it is clearly referencing the anime's depiction of the scene where he's regenerating in front of Fuko. And yeah, naming it 01. Great. Okay, let's go back and read what people have said. At this point, I'll say if anyone has any questions or things they want to talk about, drop it in chat now, because I'll be wrapping up soon. Raf's Revenge says, I think I'll do a full reread next month after the series ends. Hope to have my feelings on certain things more settled by then. Yeah, I'm going to have to make like a full review at some point, and I'm going to need to do a reread before then. Oh wait, I just checked the anti-chapter you mentioned, and it does have a flashback to him getting 1865, which was also in chapter 1. Of course, that could also be a Vic memory, and Abe Lincoln was in that same page. Okay, addressing it would be nice. I think it's pretty fine to assume he took the name of Ruin, okay, talking about Ruin, to embrace the rule God created, which he negates, choosing to side with God, of course. I think that's a really good way to rationalize it. Like, if there's no explanation given, I'm happy with that. But it does make me wonder, is Yuma Ruin sitting out there somewhere, you know, a bit miffed that someone else is using his name? Yeah, spring will still be alive and celebrated. Yeah, I mean, it's a shame that we didn't somehow let Yuma Spring still be alive. Same with Clothy. But, yeah, at least the season will still go on. But, yeah, if nobody else has anything to say, I think I'll leave it there. It's been a really, really nice chapter, really good stream.